How much training volume you can handle is based upon your individual recovery and lifestyle. Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I thought I would chat with you guys and gals a little bit about this today. And this is something I have universally found to be true. And what I want to be clear when I make this statement, this is not a contradiction with other statements I've made that, yeah, the average person can make really good gains off very low volumes, because they can. Okay? Right? So let's state that again. This is not in conflict with that statement. That statement is still true. People can make really good gains off 6 to 10 sets a week. Like, you can make fantastic gains if you train really, really, really hard. Okay? And the programming is good. You can make really good gains doing that. All right. That being said, we can handle a lot more training volume than we realize. Now keep in mind, a lot of people, their lifestyles don't allow for a lot much more. The other thing to think about is when we're training with those sort of lower volumes and the people can't always handle much more, there's two things to think about. Number one, what exercises are they doing? Well, obviously we cannot handle as much volumes of the big structural movements, right? Squat, bench press, deadlift, weighted pull-ups, okay? Done with too much volume, all of those sort of exercises will beat you up. But they also, set for set, bring a lot to the table, right? Those are exercises that, when done with low volumes and pushed hard, are capable of giving you pretty dang good progress, right? In fact, I've kind of said that already. I mean, if I only had someone do 5 exercises, squat, bench, deadlift, pull-up, barbell curl, right? I can get somebody pretty dang jacked. Absolutely get someone pretty jacked, pretty strong off those 5 lifts. Okay? With fairly moderate volumes. I'm talking, 5 sets a week of each of them. Could do it if I had to. But that's about all they can handle. Right? That's about all they can handle. Because then they start to get beat up, they start to hurt. And if we're getting beat up and hurt, what happens? Well, obviously we're not making additional gains. Our workout to workout's going to be impeded. But what happens when we start adding easier movements? Okay, and the thing to think about, there doesn't appear to be an upper threshold to the amount of stimulus we can get. It's just that it's on a diminished return. And I think that's something we have to have that conversation about, of maximizing muscle growth. And muscle growth is a slow process, and as crazy as it sounds, that extra 10% could add up. So let's say you went from doing, even heavier volumes to even more, but you could get 5% more muscle growth by doubling the amount of work you do. Now, a lot of people look at that and go, that's insane. I'm not doing that. And that's fair. And that is a valid perspective with this. That's absolutely fair. But what if you are in pursuit of maximizing absolute body composition? Okay, because a couple things to think about when we start getting into these really crazy high volumes, we're not only stimulating a little extra muscle growth, we help burn body fat easier. This is what the data shows. Right? Lifting weights will lean you out. It is just effective as cardio. This is meta-analysis for dropping body fat. It's obviously superior for recomposition, but even dropping body fat. So you see where we're about to go with this? If a person is coming in and doing ultra high volumes of training that they can recover from, what is the net result on shifts in body composition? Can that person recomposition even faster? And I'd say the answer is yes, absolutely. Does it make it easier for a person to stay really lean year-round while still maximizing growth? Absolutely. And again, I want to be clear, there doesn't appear to be an upper threshold, it's just a diminished return. This is based on what we can measure. The limits, though, are going to be your lifestyle and recovery. Okay? A person who sleeps 8 or 9 hours a night versus 6 can obviously handle more training volume. A person who eats more protein than someone else can obviously handle more training volume. Someone who has built their conditioning and work capacity up for years can handle more training volume. Okay? Someone who manages their stress better. All right? These are all factors. These are all absolutely factors. And I would say to a person, if your goal is to literally make nothing but lean gains year round, or your goal is to recomposition year round, I would recommend you leaning in the direction of saying, can we do tons of training volume? But with the caveat, most of it needs to be stuff we can recover from. And in other words, we still want to squat and deadlift. We still want to bench. We still want to do these things. Right? But it's going to come a point where we start going at a certain point, we can only handle a few really hard sets of pull-ups a week and recover. Maybe you're going to need to do a bunch of high-rep dumbbell rows. Right? You can recover from those a lot easier. You can recover from those a lot easier than you can a pull-up. Pull-up brings probably better lat development. Definitely, could you do more leg presses, hack squats, leg extensions instead of just back squats? Of course. You can add a lot more volume. Okay? And that's kind of the point we're getting to. We want to do the big movements still, but if you really want to chase the high volume and you want to maximize your recovery and stimulus, you're going to need to limit those big exercises to saying, what's the minimum of those I need to get the benefits of them? Okay? Bam. Do that. 1 set, 2 sets, 3 sets a week, whatever it happens to be. Then you come behind it and go, can I do large amounts of exercises with a much better stimulus to fatigue ratio? Do they just fatigue the body itself less? And we get more localized stuff. All right, we can handle huge amounts of that stuff. And if your lifestyle is dialed in, you really can. You can handle large amounts of it. If you've spent time building work capacity, if you get plenty of sleep, you get protein, you get great nutrition, you spent time building it up. You can handle very large amounts of those things. Okay? And if a person says, hey, I'm pursuing absolute maximum results, it does make sense. But we're back over into the context of, 1, you can't do it on every exercise. 2, your lifestyle has to be built around it to get the most out of it. You just have to have a good, healthy, fit lifestyle. You have to. But if you do those things, you can handle very, very large amounts of work. And we've seen it historically, going back generations with older generations of lifters, and we're seeing it in the lab. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.